how's it going, friends? Thank you for tuning in to VR Revelations. Make sure you give this video a like and make sure you subscribe for future content and news coverage. So here we go. Things keep intensifying between Russia, Ukraine, and the Western powers that are supporting Ukraine. So it looks like Ukraine is now fearing a massive offensive that could take aim at the capital of Ukraine in Kyiv. And this is according to Ukrainian officials. It looks like Russia has been mobilizing a lot of soldiers. Also, there's now rumors that Belarus is also mobilizing its soldiers and that they might soon join the war. And they would attack. They are closer to the capital, to Kyiv, and so they would be attacking from the northwest there of Ukraine. And, so Ukraine could be getting attacked by two different sides at the capital, and I think that would be catastrophic. Do I believe what the Ukrainian officials are saying, that Russia may make a push for the capital in January or February? I think so, because we just got news that the United States is thinking about sending its highly capable missile defense system, the Patriot missile defense system, and these are advanced weapons that the Ukrainians have not received from the United States. They have been asking for better weapons for a while. They've been asking for advanced warfighter jets and pretty much all the best technology that the United States has. That's kind of what Ukraine is logically asking for, but the United States has been withholding those better weapons because they don't want the war to escalate to such a point that the Russians will feel threatened because the U.S. is providing its best weapons, and so the Russians may feel that it's too much at that point, and they might resort to using nuclear weapons, which of course nobody wants, because that would create a nuclear exchange and begin the end of the world there. By a nuclear holocaust. But these things are decisions, well, they are decisions that are making the situation more tense. And Russia, just came out and said that if the United States does send these Patriot systems to Ukraine, that Russia would destroy them and that it could lead to unforeseen consequences. Now, my personal belief is that if the U.S. continues to send weapons to Ukraine, and even better weapons, more advanced systems like this Patriot system, I think that at some point Russia will probably decide to use some sort of small tactical nuke. And as I reported yesterday, I believe Russia announced that they were in fact putting a tactical nuclear missile on standby that could launch in just 7 minutes. So, it's going to be a tough decision here for the United States on whether they should send these Patriot missile systems. If they don't, they are going to look like, they are scared of Russia after Russia said that, things could get out of control or have unforeseen consequences. But then again, the United States has been going all in pretty much with its support for Ukraine and doubling down. And again, there was rumors that they were trying to pursue peace talks at some point, and that they got close to some sort of peace deal or having a meeting. But then Boris Johnson from the UK at that point interrupted them and told Zelensky not to make the deal. So it looks like the United States since then really hasn't been working towards a peace deal. But, the Ukrainians are kind of starting to admit themselves that it's getting more and more difficult to hold back the Russians, and that something does have to be done here. So let's go ahead and read a little bit about this article here from Politico. Again, I know for those of you that are very picky about your news sources, you got to remember it doesn't matter what news source you look at, it's going to have some bias. Um, you're going to live in one part of the world or the other, right? You either live, like in the western side of the world or the eastern. And again, it's of course, if we're going to be taking a look at articles that are in the western side, they're going to support their side. So it only makes sense. But you just have to look at all the information and, kind of make up your own mind and just step back and, realize we're all human beings and all this is happening because of ideologies. Um, and that's the flaw with man, that we're always going to war with each other because we all want to, have the final say, which is very unfortunate. But again, all of this was prophesied in the Bible, so we should not be surprised to see these things. But let's go ahead and read here. It says the United States is considering expanding its support for the war in Ukraine as Kyiv worries that Russia could make a new push to take the capital as soon as January. So again, we're about to go into January, and Ukraine is saying that they're worried Russia could make a push for the capital, and we have those rumors of Belarus joining the war on Russia's side also, which they pretty much already have. In addition to finalizing plans to send the Patriot missile defense system, the administration is also weighing sending other weapons such as Joint Direct Attack Munition Kits, which convert unguided aerial munitions into smart bombs, and ground-launched small-diameter bombs, which would significantly extend Ukraine's strike range, according to two U.S. and another official familiar with the matter. The Pentagon on Thursday also announced that it's expanding training for Ukraine's military at a U.S. base in Germany. I believe the UK is also helping to train Ukraine soldiers. It says over here, Kyiv's pleas for help are increasing in urgency as its battlefield gains stall and Moscow continues its bombardment of Ukraine cities. I also believe Zelensky said on a Telegram post that, the Russians are just destroying everything in front of them. It goes on to say here, Russia has destroyed half of Ukraine's energy infrastructure, the United Nations reports, with regular blackouts and power cuts leaving millions without electricity just as winter sets in. General Valery Zaluzny, Ukraine's top military general, told The Economist that he believes Russia is mobilizing 200,000 new troops and could push to take Kyiv as soon as January. He begged for hundreds more tanks, infantry fighters, vehicles, and howitzers to help repel Russian forces as well as missile defenses. We are balancing on a fine line, and if the power grid is destroyed, that is when soldiers' wives and children start freezing, Zaluzny told The Economist. What kind of mood the fighters will be in? Can you imagine? Without water, light, and heat, can we talk about preparing reserves to keep fighting? So again, the winter is setting in. We're barely about to start winter. January would be, one of the coldest months. So again, there's all this nonsensical talk about the Russians not being able to withstand winter. I mean, they literally, historically, have been known for defeating their enemies because of the use of the Russian winter. These people are the people of the north. They are the people of the cold, and that would be the perfect time for them to attack. And I believe they will, especially more urgently with all of this rhetoric that's coming from the United States and all this talk about missile defense systems and things like that. It would be tactically wise for Russia to advance even further, even quicker into Ukraine before these missile systems are installed. So things are definitely heating up here. It does seem to look like at some point here in the near future, like Ukraine is suspicious of, maybe at the beginning of the year, Russia is going to make some sort of push towards the capital. And if Belarus joins in and attacks from that side, the consequences here could be catastrophic, to say the least, as they already are from what we can see in these pictures. But we have to stay watchful, guys. All this is prophetic in nature. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure you give the video a like, and make sure you subscribe here so you can keep up with my coverage on the world news in general. So thank you for tuning in to VR Revelations. The truth is stranger than fiction. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.